Well, hello guys, and welcome back to the Wolf's Howl. Ow. This week we're going to be discussing a topic Miss Morgan thought of. Would you like to tell us what that is, please?
Sure. I was thinking of talking about what to do when your communication with your gods gets weird.
That's a great topic actually, because that has been happening for me. As the viewers know, I'm under the weather currently. And if I am under the weather or stressed out, it's radio silence. I can't hear a thing.
hmm for me personally, that happens a lot, especially when I get stressed or I've been under a lot of emotional turmoil. Like I've had either a lot of anxiety or panic that week. Sometimes the gods can get a little bit faded out.
Right, and I'm back on the cold meds, so I've noticed too, as I've told people before, certain medications will just knock your ability to communicate right out from under you.
hmm
And so what I'm trying to do is trying to take meditation time, which is, again, if you're on cold meds, the results will vary. And I'm using pendulums or even Pinterest to try to get that communication going because I will just stop guys and there's nothing there. It's like radio silence.
Yeah.
And what coping strategies are you using to get over the block?
Um, for me personally, I'm relying on tarot a little bit more than usual. I'm also kind of trying to meditate a bit more, and I'm also using some of other techniques like we tried using Ouija a little while ago. There's also pendulums and really trying to get yourself to ground to realize what is actually the source of some of your fears and stuff and how can you alleviate that, because once you do, at least for me personally, that's how some of the blockages from communication can start to dissipate.
Yeah, and that's a good point. A lot of times it's you kind of getting in your own way because if I'm you guys know I take anxiety medication. If my anxiety is off the charts, nobody is getting through.
Mhm.
Maybe Loki will get a tiny fox paw through, but pretty much not. So what's been happening for us is Loki developed his own ways to communicate, which involve candles, just the flames shooting up, guys, like a half foot tall flames on these tea light candles. I'm not talking about these huge pillars. I'm talking about little wee tea light candles just going to town.
Yeah. One of the days, it almost looked like he was about to take out one of the candles. He, like, melted the heck out of, one of your stands, right?
Yeah, I had this little plastic cup. You guys know how some come in those rainbow colored plastic cups. I had one underneath the candles for years for as a little stand to elevate it and burned, the regular tea candles on top in the cups for years. This went so high, I thought the microwave was going to go. I thought there's a thing up there for Freya. I thought that was going to go. I thought the house was going to go, to be honest. And then I go and I put it out. And that's why you should always never leave these unattended, as we've said several times this week. And uh, I find out the candle stand is melted, and the candle had actually started tilting. And this is where I tell you to be careful when you add stuff. We have added, no, you have to be careful anytime you're adding something to a tea candle, but we have added cinnamon sugar in the past to add some sweetness to a spill. This time it decided that the sugar was some kind of super fuel, which sugar will burn, guys. And floosh, up flames high. So yeah, I mean, I can see a skeptic would be like, well, see, you added a fuel, and yeah, you get that, but it's spiritual when we extinguish out, we threw that out. We threw out the candle holder. We start with a clean candle holder and a clean candle, and they're still going berserk.
Yeah.
And not just in the one room, because you could say, oh, it's a draft or something. Not just in the one room, in the other room.
Yeah. I had put a candle out for actually it was like a free for all candle,
Hmm.
and I just noticed it started getting really big, and I was like, okay, I think that's Loki, because the candle's like over
Yeah,
like 2 inches. It's like it was like a 1 inch base with like a huge like flame over like 2 or 3 inches tall. Would you say that was about right?
yeah, yeah. The flames are out of proportion to the candle size, and you know, it was a thing where we put it out, but eventually we'll put it back on and just like look at it. But it's definitely when you're so blocked up that nothing's getting through at all, the gods will shift tactics, and we've also been getting mysterious phone calls.
Yes. That was from our dear friend Hermes. This is not the first time I've had callers from no one where you pick up the phone, you answer it, no one's on the other line, and it just kind of goes dead.
Yeah. And I've had that happen in this house before Miss Morgan arrived, where Hermes wanted my attention, and that happened. And we had someone at the house for a reason, and um, a tow truck was involved because they broke down. And I'm like, that is definitely Hermes. If someone's breaking down like that, that is definitely a Hermes thing. Didn't you say that as well?
Yes. Um, I've seen from other practitioners, like as I've scrolled, one of his I think it would be SPG at this point, is that he likes messing with cars when you've kind of done something or
Yeah.
he needs your attention because he's the god of transportation. So
Yeah.
vehicles, buses, trains, planes.
Yeah, and that's more so a Hermes thing, guys, but that is also a Loki thing, provided it's the person's pride and joy. Loki can be like, if he feels it's warranted, go after things at times.
Mhm.
A lot of Lokeans know he likes to break electronics, at least temporarily, to get your attention.
Right over here.
Yeah, and so what I've been trying to do also is just, like we say about with the anxiety, that um calm down and just try to let it come through. But it's like the gods are only coming in, like, I keep saying it's like radio silence, because it's like now the radio's on, but like I'm just getting short bursts of
Yeah,
messages, and that's it.
yeah,
Or I'm getting now stuff I usually don't get. Like, I usually don't get a visual when I'm talking to other people, and now that I like everything is closed off, I'm getting like visuals while I'm talking to Miss Morgan, and I don't know if they're of her future, of what they are, but I'm telling her. So the gods will find ways around it. But what would you suggest for people that can't get the visuals, can't get the, don't have the secondary senses kicking in?
um the tools, tarot, pendulum. Oh, there's also those two little metal sticks, dowsing rods, that you can use as well. That can give you your yes nos, and that once you get aligned to it with your spirit, you'll be able to get simple answers from that. And they could also do something cool where you can ask them where are you in the room, and they could point to them.
Okay, that is great. I've actually never tried that technique. I'd like to try that sometime, actually.
Yeah. It'll take a bit of practice like everything.
Right.
And of course, I'm getting a little ping back here that Loki will sometimes do the opposite of what you expect with the pendulum tools. So do your research before you start using the methods and then see how Loki actually uses it.
Yeah, and I could confirm with the pendulum. Sometimes it's 80% of the time for me, it's I just want to play with the pretty crystal and it just starts to spin and spin and spin. He sometimes answers and sometimes it's like, "Oh, you brought me a toy. How thoughtful of you."
Or you get a deep inner knowing that he's lying. That's fun.
Yeah,
Because
so
sometimes he will let you know that he's kind of messing around.
yeah. Yeah, and we
Especially
do go ahead.
especially with tarot cards, because he'll throw out like 10 or 11 at a time.
Yeah, and we do not mean, by the way, for people that get nervous about this, we don't mean lying like a lying spirit or something.
Oh yeah, not.
We mean he fibs a lot. You ask him something like, "Did you do that, Loki?" And you know he didn't. He's like, "No."
Or you could ask, or you can know it's him, and he'll answer all your other questions, but then he he might lie on like really simple things like is my name something or other, and then he'll just kind of give you a very false answer.
Yeah, he's a strange and wondrous god, but the more you work with him and the more you get used to his energy, you know it's him and you know he's playing shenanigans.
Also, something that occurred to me is if you really are really blocked off, or if you're going through a very tumultuous time and you're really not sure what to do, you could seek outside help. You could go to a experienced reader who knows what they're doing and could aid you in a reading if you really need some. I wouldn't say more serious, but if you need more some, what's the word, sound advice, or if you needed something like for a longer period.
Yeah, from a seasoned person. That
Yeah.
person knows the god you're working with, and especially look around, guys, for people with a good reputation. And, sometimes it can be very easy when we hit these periods of radio silence to kind of start losing our faith
Yeah.
because we all know how pagans get. They get mean, they get snippy, they get vindictive, and they say, "Oh," and we were just watching one of my older videos popped up on my feed about, I think all you people that talk to the gods are crazy. And, then you start doubting yourself because you hear that stuff, but try not to let those people live rent free in your head.
Hmm. Hmm.
There is communication for everyone. Some people feel a presence, some people feel hot or cold, some people hear a voice, some people see something. It's usually inner knowing. And again, like I said in that video, I can't tell you if the god's right here with me or they're 9 lifetimes or universes away. I have no idea, but I know that's how the communication works for me, but it's not better than what you might be getting.
Hmm. Also, if you really need to contact Loki, you can always call out to me and I will answer. Uh,
Okay, so Loki joined the conversation and the phone is going off because we clearly have a professional setup here, guys. Let me pause for 1 second to let the phone do its thing.
I
Okay,
can.
guys, sorry about that. Loki did indeed come through. As you guys all know, Miss Morgan is a channeler. And Lord Hermes also came through because the phone went off. So I'm calling shenanigans on them both. So that they decided to show us. I mean, really, guys, stuff like that is how the communication comes some days. It will, if you're not used to it, a lot of people say, but it sounds just like me.
Hmm.
Thoughts in your head, the phone ringing at the worst time possible, and you know it's a god of communication you're dealing with. So they just gave us a master class in how this works.
Also, sometimes Loki also likes to use electronics. He will use a robotic cat every once in a while to convey a message like that.
Oh yes, the robotic cat's timing is absolutely sassy, guys. We'll be discussing something, and the cat will meow at just the right time. Now, yes, these things have sensors, we all know that, but we will both be sitting there. No one will be moving or doing anything to activate this cat, and someone will say something. The cat goes, meow, And sometimes it's a yes, sometimes it's a no, and sometimes it's a very sassy yes or no. I
Yeah.
forget what I said last night, but the cat told me off, basically. And then everybody yells, Loki, really loud because we know who's doing it. He loves electronics, guys. If you want to drive him nuts and yourself crazy, get him anything electronic. He loves it.
He also likes shutting down the computer.
He does. I have seen the blue screen of death more times lately for poor Miss Morgan. Blue screen of death, and okay, we're not working right now. Okay, great. But yeah, guys, they will find ways to reach around the blockages, and I think that's important to talk about because, as we learned in a year, no one will ever mention, being taken away from that communication or that time with your gods, especially if you're used to kind of ambling around and you're usually in a lot of contact throughout the day. That can kind of put like a hit on your faith, but in the meantime, while you're waiting for whatever you're using to come back online, the gods will find a way around it. It's just a matter of us having our hearts open and paying attention. Is everything okay on your end?
Yeah.
Okay, I know something's going on.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so we hope you guys have enjoyed that one. Do you have? I don't know. I have no idea. Do you have any closing thoughts, Miss Morgan?
um, not at the moment. Other than the gods are trying to always reach out and communicate, you just need to be able to see the sign. And if you can't, ask for more clear signs. Repeat, say, "Hey, I know you're trying to say something. Say it again to me."
Yeah, and you guys don't get to see us. I do. I'm currently watching the God's Driver co-host Crazies. They will do that, especially Loki. If it's time for you to be serious, guys, he will torment you. Count on it. So we hope you guys like what you saw. Remember to please like, comment, and subscribe. Please consider becoming a Patreon patron for a one-time or continued donation. Please consider becoming a member to support this channel and get members exclusive goodies, or a PayPal tip in the tip jar is always welcome. No amount is too small. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of all of our hearts for listening, and we will see you guys next time.